Today we're going to find out what the biggest Formula One fan, the biggest espresso fan, and the biggest car fan, who's live in studio today, knows about cars, and he's going to put Gavin and Ciro to a challenge. It's also his favourite segment on the show, and we invited him to join us live. Zaid, good morning. Welcome to Espresso, and to one of your favourite segments, I believe.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Ciro, Gavin, hi to you as well. Now, before we talk cars, Zaid, I know you're going to try and stump the guys. They've got to guess what car facts you're giving and what car it is.
Okay. This car never actually, it was a production car, but was used in a different aspect. And this car, 10 models was made of this particular car in different guises and was used in the 1970s and in a movie. This car...
You can give it that. I'm sure they'll guess on that. Have you got one more clue?
No. But one more clue. One more clue.
We'll be stumping our Overdrive TV guy.
It was used not only on the road.
Was it?
I know this. I think it was a Lotus Esprit
from
the Spire Avenue. Yeah.
There we go. You
That's why we keep him.
At Overdrive TV.
It's my favourite Bond film, Zaid. So I'm good.
Well done. Well done, Zaid.
Good
the guys didn't know that we were going to stump them.
Thanks.
Talk about cars, please.
All right, yeah. Well, it's a bit of an Asian upstart war today. We've got China versus Korea, and the plucky Koreans have been making some fantastic cars of late. Particularly like the Kia Optima, which we've been driving, and also very good-looking cars.
So now, we're not the only people who think so. In fact, in the USA at the moment, Hyundai, Kia, basically the same company, outsell every single European brand combined.
Yeah,
in America. It's unbelievable how popular
it absolutely boggles my mind. Now, I reckon the Optima's great. Ciro reckons it's great, except for the gearbox and engine, which are two very important parts about making it a car and not a sitting room. So I have to disagree somewhat. I think they're not bad. They're just not as refined as some of the rivals it's gunning for, which is to be expected, I guess.
No, I think it's great going downhill.
Okay, give us the price before we jump to the next car.
Well, you know what? For 309,000 Rand, this might be the bargain of the year. You won't believe how many extras you get in there.
Heated seats, the seats do everything you imagine.
Cooled seats, electric seats.
The car even says goodbye when you turn it off, which you don't often see. It says, it's almost like that. It's almost that Asian politeness where it's sort of like you turns off and says thank you, see you soon, and you're like, well, I hope so.
And like sort of bong, like ding ding ding.
Ding ding ding.
And it says, yeah, see you soon. You're like, well, unless you get stolen, I guess you will. So, yeah, it's a very charming car, and I think that's what Kia have done. They've tried to gun for quite an ambitious segment. They aren't quite there yet, but for the last 15 years, they've been getting progressively better and better. All right.
So over to China.
Yes.
Now this was actually our first Chinese car review ever, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. What is it?
It's the new MG. And now, not really a strict rival for the Kia, but since we had them both at the same time, and they're both from very far away, we thought we'd talk about them. And while I was looking for footage of this car, I found this incredible piece of footage. So it's the MG on an ice lake, being driven by a swimwear model, rescuing a hiker. Which I don't think it can
That
do.
is the perfect plan for any car.
I think this might be it.
Did the swimwear model come with the car when you were test driving?
No. I wouldn't recommend driving this across an ice lake. In fact, I wouldn't recommend this car for much. I must say the MG, I really wanted to like it, but I just don't know what they're doing in this segment of the market. For me, an MG should be a 5-speed rear-wheel drive roadster with a roof that leaks. And then
I didn't mind it so much. I really didn't. I thought the interior was pretty cool. It's got lots of features like sat-nav, which you pay a lot more for in other cars. And, you know, Gav's right. They shouldn't be in this sort of like, I don't know where they are, Toyota Corolla, Volkswagen
front-wheel drive,
kind of territory. But you know what? For 229,000 Rand, it's really good value, and I think what the world needs is not leaky roofs. I think we need a good Chinese car company to make good cars at good prices so that everyone else follows.
Exactly, so everyone else starts dropping their prices.
Yeah.
Now, guys, before we go, I know you want to ask Zaid something, and we've got a few seconds for you to tell us, Zaid.
Now, you've been very lucky to drive an F1 car.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was in 2009. I entered a competition and wanted to be one of the Formula One drivers. I had no driving experience on track at least.
Formula One cars.
Of Formula One, of course, yeah. And I was lucky enough for someone to actually guide and Davi Olaf, who is a racing driver.
Yeah.
Taught me.
Olaf, yeah.
Yeah, and he actually taught me a day before the actual competition.
Oh, fantastic.
And so, and the competition, and he taught me at Swartskops.
Yeah, I know Swartskops Raceway, yeah.
And the competition was actually held at Swartskops.
Okay.
So I knew the track a little bit better.
Yeah.
And through that I actually won the competition and ended up going to France.
Paul Ricard, yeah.
Paul Ricard track, yeah, in the south of France. And it's an amazing place because the track itself has an airport.
Yeah.
Hotel, a golf course.
Which Bernie Eccleston owns the whole lot. Yeah.
Man.
Well, we're going to leave these guys are going to end up
morning.
talking all day. We're going to leave them on the couch and head on over to our kitchen. Keep chatting amongst yourselves.